We see that whenever we go to formal education in a college, and those people calls us, for an orientation. So in that orientation, we are not taught any topic, any subject. We are taught where is the classroom, how many classes per week, what you should bring with yourself, where is the lab, what is the score, passing score, and how you go about the entire journey. That is what we know, the orientation. We come back. Now you are sitting in the orientation and the mind is somewhere else. You take it for granted, okay, I'm already admitted, so I'll go there. And next time you go for the first class, you miss a lot of stuff. You're not with your notebook, you're not with a pencil, and you're not paying attention. And when you are not paying attention, then it is very challenging to you at a later stage. That how you are going to pass and how you are going to acquire the information and the knowledge that can be applied in the job and in the skill. So 90% of the people don't pay their attention. That's what I see here and everywhere. Now apply the same thing, the orientation, practice, and the learning all have been going together since we met until now. So now we are becoming more and more aware. We want to be aware that what is this orientation all about. So the first principle of orientation that summarizes almost all the principles until date. So the first principle of the orientation, in this journey we want to discover our true nature. That is known as who I am. And I want to allow that peace and happiness, creativity, and the love and the wisdom from inside to be expressed outside in my personal, professional, social, family life. So now what is blocking me to do that? What I am not. So, but why the I am not is blocking me? Because I created wrong notions and thinking about myself. Now go back to what you are obsessed with it. Oh, I go and people say, you look smart. So who looks smart? Is this the body or me? Is it the self or the non-self? Say for example, you look most beautiful outside, but there is a terrible pain in the body. The pain leads you to anxiety in the mind. You are getting emotionally upset. The mind is obsessed with that pain 24/7, and at the same time, someone says, Nancy, you are most beautiful. See the conflict? We don't want to resolve this conflict if you don't learn, if you don't read this path of journey, if you don't practice it. So here the first principle works, self and the non-self. So my mind must be clear about what I am looking for. My goal is, what is goal? Goal is to live in peace and happiness, in creativity, in rightful action, in my personal, professional, social, family life 24/7. That is our goal. That is what we have been desiring. But the mind blocks. Mind says it is not possible. Why it is not possible? Because of wrong notion. One, because of obsession. Because of the example I gave you about that guy. Why I'm not active, energetic the way I used to be at the age of 30. Now I'm 70. You cannot be. Is it your age or it is the age of the body? No, it is the point of wisdom. So the knowledge must happen in the mind. It is the age of the body. And he never agreed that I'm not the body. Even understanding, intellectually I understand, I agree with you, I like you, I said hate me, dislike me, but agree with what is the truth. What is the truth? What is the wisdom? After all, you are a human being. The intellect can separate what is right and what is wrong. So please separate it. And he is the author of more than about 13, 14 books on democracy. He is leaning towards Democrats. He used to talk a lot, Obama used to call him. Even when he was in the office and I was there. Very nice, genius guy, always helping hand. I'm not telling for the sake of any intention, but he was so much particular. He said 1 hour. So he said, can I take you 15 minutes more? I said, I'm okay with it. I'm not asking you anything. I always keep that slot. Keep that, freedom for myself. So I'm not in a hurry. I don't put myself into anxiety. And I'm not saying because of him. So he used to pay me even for 15 minutes. He was so much particular. You see, even he was such a good person, a kind person. But if you don't undergo an orientation and you don't accept that, even if you're so kind and good and efficient and genius, and still it does not strike you. Why? Because of obsession. Because that obsession takes over. So whether it is an obsession of the food or whether it is an obsession with physical exercise, sometimes people have an obsession of watching the crime series, soap operas. So I have to find out. So lifestyle modifications are required to succeed in this path. Same way, orientation is required to succeed. Whether you say lifestyle modification or orientation is required to succeed in this. Now, in this orientation, the first principle I talked about it, the knowledge and clear understanding of the self and the non-self. I was driving the car and I saw one model of the car from Hyundai. I used to possess Hyundai SUV. And the mind said, this car is better. I said, hold on. What is self and the non-self? And that did not continue its thought. I said, I'm doing good. Car is fine, I'm driving it, everything is fine. Where comes? So even a single thought and a vision can cause you problem. Another example, you are seeing Lois, and the mind says, today Lois is looking more beautiful than me, and the problem begins. So we have to be on our guard to maintain that awareness in peace and happiness. It is her body, it is my body. I will take care of my body, she will take care of her body. Yes, at the social level, let me agree, appreciate, and praise, and that is done. First thing to understand. Another part in this orientation to understand is the subject matter. I have to clearly understand, and that knowledge lives in this head all the time. What is this world outside? This world is full of duality, opposing tendencies. The moment I interact, Nancy, with this world, there has to be a profit and loss, there has to be victory and defeat, there has to be likes and dislikes, there has to be loss and gain. It is natural. It is natural. It has to happen. Same thing with the body, healthy or the sick. You don't invite sickness. Now we have a lot of challenges of coronavirus in the world outside. Recently I was listening to the CNN news in a ship. There are more than 3,000 people and 40 people are supposed to be infected with this coronavirus, so where they have to go? They were confined in a small room. Inside the ship, the fresh air is not there. So if you are infected with that, the virus is returning, multiplying and going. What is this? So it means the body can undergo a change. That is a fact of life. We don't know what kind of a sickness can enter into this body at what time. Unknown. So why should I have a fear of the unknown? At the same time, let me continue to maintain my physical body without any obsession. Another orientation. Because of this intention, these masters have discovered these postures. When we say Hatha Yoga. Hot Yoga. It was not Hatha Yoga, Hot Yoga. It was the master used to understand your body, and they say pick up the maximum 5 to 15 postures and do it. And check it. The changes. You are able to maintain a deep relaxation in the body. You are able to maintain the minimum flexibility, elasticity, which is directly proportional to the health. It was not overdone. It was not, So normally what we start saying, headstand posture. I have seen at least 7 cases here in New Jersey. People are doing headstand poses for about 10-15 minutes and they went into deeper anxiety because you are doing the headstand. The God has asked you to stand on your feet. This is not done. This is irresponsible totally. No, that, anxiety and the depression cause is different because of my honey. I said, it is adding this momentum. The blood is pushing your brain in a different way. And you are already into anxiety and you are doing it. It is adding up to your anxiety. Please understand that. No. Why? Because they have to demonstrate, they are obsessed with it and everyone likes it. And that's what makes their earning. But this is too much. The same thing with the food. I had beautiful women. She is wonderful. But she changes. She is flexible. And people don't respect those elasticity. That we need to have. That is another principle of orientation. Neither too much nor too less. Balance in between. So she is a Kundalini yoga teacher and she used to attend my classes regularly for more than 8 to 9 years. Her husband is a chief in the Johnson & Johnson. They were very well learned. Acharya, I have left beef. I said, very good, finished. I take it easily. You might have left because you might have realized that, it is causing a lot of fat, so let me leave it. So next week she came and I could not live without it and I started eating. I said, good. You realized that it is not eating is not conducive to your body because it is not meeting the requirement of a protein or whatever it is, or fat. So she looked at me, but you are a spiritual guy. I said, yes. So that spiritual guy has to do with the self, not with the non-self. Non-self is the body. You have to take care of that. But check that there should not be any obsession. And for 6 months she worked on herself. She realized it is a kind of an obsession. She left that beef. She went on to the chicken with some vegan food. And she is healthy. She is coming with me to India in June. She is all about in her 60s. So orientation is required at the physical level. Very important. In terms of physical activity, in terms of, I do maximum 15 to 20 minutes, hardly 2 or 3 times a week. And 15-20 minutes, I pick up only 3 postures. And I do all the 3 postures 5 minutes each. Sometimes I do only 1 posture for 15 minutes. Only 1 posture. And I'm done. I check that the body, I feel lightness in the body. Lightness means relaxation. I feel the body is energetic, active. I'm done. Finished. So it's all a permutation and combination. Sometimes you need to do little more. Last month I had some, and I felt, there seems to be a constipation. So I increased my practices, focused on those postures around the belly, and that relieved my constipation. Finished. So not getting obsessed with one posture or other posture, seeing what is required. Why? If the body is in a right balance, I can go into a deeper state of meditation. I can help my mind to get rid of any kind of reaction and anxiety easily. But if the body, I'm getting obsessed with the body, I'm doing meditation, mind is obsessed with the body. The mind is creating those impressions related to the body. It will fail me in any practice of meditation. And same thing, overeating, undereating. So that too is a big challenge. So we have to balance. Occasionally you overeat, it's okay, undereat, it's okay. But more or less it should be balanced. There is a way to understand that balance, and it took me a couple of years, I would say. We say that you eat your food, and for first 2 hours you don't feel sleepy. The amount of the food that you have eaten is perfect. It should not force you to be sleepy, lethargic. And if you still feel an urge to eat more, even if you have filled your belly, it is undereating. It means you need something. Pick up, find out, balance. So once you work on the body, who is working? Your mind. You are gaining a knowledge. You are preventing a lot of illnesses by this way. Then also the sleep. I must have sound sleep. So first 5 minutes before going to sleep, no study, no phone, no budge, just do nothing, lie down on the bed, eyes are closed if you find, shut off all the light, and just wait, check it, where the mind is going. We are working on orientation. So once you do it for about a month, it will make you a habit. Then you know. It takes me maximum 5 to 7 minutes to fall into deep sleep every day. And that has reduced the hour of the sleep from 8 hours to 3.5 hours now. After 3.5 hours, now I'm ready, full of energy. For so long, it has been almost 20 years now. So first 5 minutes, it must be done. And then use any practice, 4-step relaxation. I have given you the nyasa in the early sessions.
The nighttime one.
Nighttime one practice. Must do. Switch on that. Switch on that. If you want to do any practice in the evening, first do that practice. After that, you lie down on the bed, 5 minutes, and follow that practice. Even if you do it for, it takes minimum about 2 to 3 months. Your body is accustomed. Your mind knows it. Now the mind will not become crazy. Even if you have pain in the body, you will go into deep sleep. I have seen in this my life for 20 years. Even if I have sometime I have physical pain because of exhaustion, I go into sleep. So what is the point here? It is a consciously entering into sleep. A great orientation. So what the science says, you sleep for 9 hours. The actual sleep is 1/3. It is 3 hours. Deep sleep. Non-REM sleep. There are different names. 2/3 is a REM sleep. Even if you don't know it. And that is not required. You clean that through your mind in the first 5 minutes and plus the practice. So you are taking care. Why you are taking care? Not only for the body, for daily activities, but you are doing it for the sake of discovery of your true nature. That is one aspect. Now moving little deeper. Karma. Karma means action. We repent on certain actions and reactions that we perform in our professional life, in our family life, in our personal life. The mind returns and you return home. Oh no, I should not have said this to David or to Lois and to Eric. This is, I was feeling very bad. No, I should not have done so. They might have noticed. We feel that. It's a normal routine. It's action. The way we express ourselves, I don't like you, so my expression is different. And when I return home and then I feel bad. Today in the morning session, the same girl, same woman, she is the teacher, and I told you in Eastern Europe, worried about noise pollution. So I created one parable, wanted to make her understand, and that is very important even for everyone. I said there was a boss, owner of a big organization. His office was on the 40th floor. He was busy in doing his work. We are talking about the work activities in our life. But sometimes we are absorbed in doing some work and we enjoy that, and it helps us also to remain calm and relaxed. But because the past impressions are already present, I have a habit of anxiety and reaction. I have a wrong notion about the people and the places and the things. So these impressions are already working inside. I may be highly intelligent, like this guy I told you in New Jersey. That's how I learned from my master. It took me many, many years. So anyhow, this guy, 40th floor, and suddenly his employee stormed his office and he said to his boss, "Your daughter ran away from that criminal." 40th floor, glass, the door, windows was open. He got a shock, leaned towards the window, and he fell down. It's a parable, but understand that. So while he was falling, he reached at 30th floor. His mind said, "What? I don't have a daughter." 20th floor, "I didn't marry." But you reacted. There is no way to save yourself. This is what happens when we keep these wrong notions in our life. So why I narrated this story, created this story, she told me I opened the windows to have a fresh air. I felt cold and cold was good. But down the road I found 50 cars. My mind said, now there are 50 kids. And now they are going to play football. And now there would be a noise. This happens to everyone in life. We need an orientation. What the hell, what the car has to do with my noise? This is what the story is all about. So when the mind is full of wrong notions, wrong thinking, there is no clarity about the self and the non-self. The non-self takes over and it is ready to react, put you into anxiety. I'm in the obsession, it will put me into anxiety. Put me into anxiety. I told you, wonderful learning by Eric. Oh, you reach always early. I said, yes. I have a habit of reaching early at least 10 to 15 minutes. After 6 months, he followed the same attitude with his clients. And he told me it is so rewarding. I don't need to go into anxiety. I have enough time to think about my customer and clients. I need not to react. He was so happy, I could see the glow. This was an orientation. If I don't set an example, then you don't learn. Now I have to set it. American way, 9 p.m., so 9 p.m. Say sorry if you have reached 9:05. Sorry has no meaning. Sometimes it has a meaning, but normally it does not have. Or simply we go intellectually. I have said sorry to you, traffic jam. Traffic jam, so let me start early. So I started her session 15 minutes before. That was the only thing. I said, you have to confirm me. If you don't confirm, then we will have another, we will reschedule it. So it happened, see that. So what is happening, the main thing comes, which not the science does not understand, but this Eastern wisdom understand clearly. So what these master says that you have to redefine your actions, your activities. There are different types of action. When you are listening to me, your motive is to discover that inner peace and happiness. Your mind is going back again and again to yourself. It is not selfish motive. We don't say it is desire. We say it is an aspiration. I want to evolve. I want to change myself. I'm committing myself to bring about a change. One type of activity. which has no motivation and selfish interest in relationship to the world outside. 90% your mind calms down when you have a clarity about this motivation. This is the best activity one must do every day, to keep that mind into that state. Now, what is the second activity? Always full of motivation, selfish interest. Why you came late? So I am not addressing, I do not want to understand why my employee reached late, but my motive is inside selfish interest. I have to use this employee in order to get more money. And because he is half an hour late, maybe because of genuine reasons, I react. I am harming myself. I'm telling you an entire scenario in your life. I'm harming myself. I must have a wonderful relationship with everyone and anyone. Let me understand. Okay, why you have come? First and foremost thing, that selfish interest should be changed to a creative pursuit. How we can work together with a proficiency, with a performance. How should I build a good relationship with an employee so that he gives the best and I give my best? It has to be replaced. It has to be replaced. This is the second type of activity. So I have to figure out, am I totally obsessed with, at the mental level, with my selfish interest? The last week practice is going to help you once you listen to this and then you do the practice. So what is happening? You are doing 5 minutes of breathing and in between the mind is obsessed. It may pick up any thought. That is what she told me. I saw the cars and he said, this is too much. You are a teacher. My friend, you are a teacher. So when I narrated the story of this guy who fell from the 40th floor, she started laughing. I said, she told me I'm so crazy. I said, yes, you are. You are. You have to drop this craziness. We keep this craziness by giving us a label. I'm a boss, selfish interest. We have to deal with all kinds of people. But we can deal in peace, understanding, not by reaction. The moment we react, we are already falling down from the 40th floor. Even if the other is totally wrong, I also became wrong. So we have to gradually drop that selfishness inside, that sense of possessiveness, that sense of, Harik, you are my son, you have to listen to me. No. You listen to me because what I feel is right. What I feel is right. So you make me more right, let me see. But this is what I think. So that gives us space to the mind. That does not create any negative impressions in the mind. The same thing with the Lois, the David. You will find out that you are not missing any person in the world. You have such a healthy relationship with everyone. They don't have, let them not have. Forget about it. You are orientation. This is an orientation in you. You're not worried about anyone. But what is going to happen? People will definitely say, Nancy is not wrong. Because you live your life, you act in your life with the wisdom. And that reduces, I would say, 90% of problems in our relationship. But why we are doing it? It is helping in our outer professional life. But why we are doing it? We want no challenges from outside when I'm absorbed into meditation. I'm seeking for this. But it is helping me in my professional life also. This is the beauty of this journey. This is the beauty. So first I have to work on that selfish interest. Why you came late? Why you are doing this? Blame, complain. Drop this. It's enough. We have lived our life in blame and complaint for so many years. No reward. No reward. So first activity, we should become aware. This is activity for myself, for my own evolution, for my discovery of peace and happiness. You are already inspired. You inspire yourself. You know the agenda. 5 minutes before sleep, 10 minutes of the nighttime practice, morning practice. While walking, I'm looking at any person and my mind enters into reaction. No, leave this. I know the world is full of the dualities. You drop it. You're flying into it. Flying into it. Third activity. So we are dividing the actions in our life. My son, I told you that he spent almost 20-25 hours. He came on vacation, but he was more focused on doing the practices. So I spent 25 hours with him. 25 hours of recording. And once he reached there, he said, no, you have to give me 2 lessons in the morning and evening. I said, I'm okay. So 6:15 to 7:15 his session today. And exactly 7:15, and then I came here. I said, I'm doing it. That commitment happens in your mind. And that commitment changes your life completely. Changes your life. He's doing it for his profession, for the employees. He's a vice president in networking. He's a big guy. I do him so well. So now see that commitment comes. So now comes the third activity, third types of activities. I act with responsibility in this world of duality, of likes and dislikes. What is that means with the responsibility? Third type of activity. The moment you are with Eric, David, or Louis, or with your relations, your role is to give love, care, concern. Finished. No complaint, no blame. Erase all the blame, complaint. Even if she or he did not offer you anything, it's okay, it's a part of the life. Part of the game. As I am busy, I don't remember people. How many times you remember Eric, David, and Louis in your 24 hours? Unless the mind pops up, their image. See that. See the truth in it. But the moment I am with them, extreme care, not with the reaction, but with love, including, now I remember Brisa, including Brisa also. With even you treat them, because you are a mother, you treat them as if you are treating the kids of Eric. How are you? I hug people, when even in my relations, I hug and I hold their hand, how are you doing? And I see that, can I introduce any point of wisdom? And I am always careful that I should not enter into any kind of blame, complaint. And even if they say, no, I'm sorry, I said, forget about it. We are related, we are close. There is no need to say sorry. Don't ever say it. I force it. That helps my mind to get rid of those blame, complaint, and reactions. So that is the third activity in my relations. Then the fourth activity is with the people outside I meet, whether it is a stranger, whether I'm going into the mall. I remember 3 months before I went into TJ Maxx. Beautiful lady, very, and I'm saying heavy, laughing. Said, I appreciate you. You're laughing and dealing with it. But I have one question to ask you. I just wanted to make her aware. Do you also laugh the same way in your home? With your honey? And she became instantly sad. I said, educate your mind. In spite of any situation outside, you have to be there. So you live into that point of wisdom. Same thing with the employees, the co-workers, or anyone. 3 activities. Fourth one activities. It is like the principle of confession in Christianity. I have done something wrong, so I should confess, I should repent. So here it is a practical confession. You do such practices which helps you to go deeper. You fought with someone, you reacted, you said everyone abused and hurt and harmed someone, you return. So you punish your mind with intensive practices. You repeat the same practice couple of times. Don't start thinking about it. Outside you can say simply sorry, and this is the fourth activity. So every time you are putting your mind to a challenge, mind, you cannot do this. No way. You cannot have that selfish thoughts and reactions against your employees or in your business. You should have a giving nature. You should take care of yourself, your evolution every day. It's a first kind of activity. You always move with the response, love and care to your own relations, including friends. Sometimes we come closer to them. And then with our professional life, in a professional life, you make professional as a play and a fun. You already know it, what you are doing it. So why to worry about it? You have an agenda almost more or less the same for so many years. You don't remember because of the selfish hand, because of the reaction is present in the mind. You need not to create an agenda. Even when you create an agenda, you know it, but the mind remembers. What else you have to do? What else I have to do? Even though I make an agenda, I put into my calendar, but that is a play and a fun. It is not so, no, I have a lot of work to do. There is no work to do. After 40 years of teaching and guiding and mentoring, there is no work to do. I can pick up any principle from anywhere. Same thing with you. So we keep the mind at ease. It is at ease all the time. We are like these birds, No motive, no motivation, no end. They are just chirping, making the sound. See consciously. And the fourth one is what I told, the confession has not to think of it again and again. I did this. Mind, promise me that you have to live into that state of peace and calmness and activity. You have to live into that. So I did this yesterday. I will do one practice 3 times every day for 7 days. So you remind yourself of reaction, but the next moment you move into that peace. The mind will be scared to enter into that kind of a reaction again. So we follow that confession. And that confession is totally different. You don't go to the priest and say, I confess. The priest has already had a lot of problems. Whether it's a priest in the Christianity or in the Hinduism or any religion, they all have a lot of more problems than us.
I used to do that when I was a little girl, and I would make up stuff, because I didn't do anything. I was only like a little girl.
You see that. So now let me give you a break for a week. So I'll meet you on the second. But if you want me, you can call me.
Okay.
I have no issue. So after 2 weeks we meet, you follow this routine, pick up the practices, and once I meet 2 weeks, we'll continue this talk, plus the different practices that we can introduce to start living the life of that peace and the happiness.
Perfect.
Perfect. So now let me know anything more.